Hey y'all, my name's Miranda. Welcome to another 360 hike in Western North Carolina. Today we're at Rattlesnake Lodge. Note here that parking is pretty limited. There are a few spaces at the trailhead and a few spaces on the side of the road, both before and after this trailhead. Just make sure you don't park in the road or block any other cars from getting out. There are a few ways to access this trail since it's part of the Mountains to Sea Trail, but I started from Ox Creek Road, which will take you about a 1.5 mile gradual climb from the road to the remains of the lodge. The Rattlesnake Lodge Trail is almost like a trip back in time. The start of the hike includes some gradual switchbacks, and then continues a rather gradual climb towards the top. I've hiked this trail in every season, and I think it's particularly good, especially in the fall and the winter. In the fall, you have a lot of beautiful leaves with color, and then in the winter, the leaves are off of the trees, so you'll be able to see more of the mountain view. Rattlesnake Lodge was the summer home for Dr. Chase P. Ambler and his family beginning in 1904. They would spend pretty much every summer there until his wife died in 1918. He sold the lodge shortly thereafter, and it burned down in 1926, thought to be caused by a lightning strike. And the first remnants or ruins that you'll come to from the lodge is part of the stone retaining wall, which surrounded and supported most of the property. Continue along the trail, and next you'll come to the remains of what used to be the swimming pool. This was only a few feet deep and was fed by a mountain spring, meaning the water would have been pretty cold. Remember, this video is 360, so you can move your screen around in all directions to explore the scene. Keep hiking along the trail and you'll reach a flat area that used to be the Ambler's front yard. Today there are some trees and a fire pit as well as an informational sign in this area. The sign states that the elevation is around 4,400 feet, but the actual elevation is really around 3,700 feet above sea level. Behind the sign you can imagine a rather large lodge that stood on the property. It had 2 floors, including multiple bedrooms, a dining room, a kitchen, and a front living room in which the ceiling was covered with rattlesnake skins, giving it the name that it has today. There was a small footbridge that led from the back of the house to the tennis courts, believe it or not. If you keep following the trail, it will lead you towards the spring house, which now sits below a fallen tree, which is great for climbing and photo ops. This spring used to provide running water through the bottom of the house, which used to be fully enclosed, and stored milk and other items that needed a cool space. And I like to add another mile loop to this hike. So as you pass the fallen tree, you'll follow the blue blazes up a steep trail. As you continue up this rather steep and strenuous part of the trail, you'll see part of an old terracotta pipe and the remnants of a reservoir. Once you reach the top of this trail, you'll cross a small creek into a rhododendron forest and follow the Mountains to Sea trail loop back down towards the lodge area. The Mountains to Sea trail is indicated by the white blazes. Just be mindful on your way back down, as the trail can be steep and slippery when it's wet or covered with fallen leaves.
I might keep that in.
Wow.
As you're making your way back to the lodge, you'll pass another little section of ruins, which is the fallen chimney of the shack. This used to be part of a simple cabin with bunk beds and a fireplace built for lodge construction workers. Total, this trail is just under 4 miles, and I would call it moderate with a few strenuous sections. And the question that is often asked is if you are likely to encounter an actual rattlesnake in this area, and the answer is no, you're very unlikely to encounter a rattlesnake or any other snakes in this area. They tend to avoid the more heavily trafficked trails. This loop will end back near the lodge and the old spring house, and then you'll follow the trail back down to the trailhead and wherever you parked.
Thanks again for joining me on another 360 hike at Rattlesnake Lodge. Please subscribe to my channel for more 360 hike videos, as well as yoga and meditation. Hope to see you next time. Namaste and have a great day.